Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 300. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I am with Daniel. What's up, Daniel?
Hello.
What's up, Gloria?
Hello, hello, hello.
Mike D.
I'm glad to be on the Real Hoovians, episode 300.
Yeah. What's up, Phil?
I want you to reach deep into your hearts and your pocketbooks and take him by the hand.
Very good. All right, so what I'm going to screen share with you is a picture of Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool outfit. Just let me know if you guys see that. That's him.
It looks a little homoerotic there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep, so Ryan Reynolds is filming Deadpool. Can't wait. What do you guys think of the Deadpool movie? Think it's going to be rated R?
Mike nailed it on the head.
Wait a minute, why is he stealing Spider-Man's money?
No, it didn't say. It said with great power comes great. No, it's great irresponsibility.
Oh, irresponsibility. Okay. It was barely up on my screen long enough for me to register what he was saying before it disappeared.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, that's Ryan Reynolds. He's going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully it's rated R, I hope. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot of other news that hit. Well, we saw the Spectre trailer for James Bond. And I know, you want to go into some detail. We are going to have a James Bond cast. We're going to try that again, hopefully soon. You want to go into detail about that, Mike D?
Probably should save it for Connor. I'm sure he'd want to discuss it with us. But it was a great trailer. Waited all week to see it, and it definitely paid off. Had a very good feel, much akin to Skyfall with the trailer for that, and it's going to pick up kind of where some of the threads of that film left off, as well as the previous two films, Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. So looks to be another Daniel Craig classic. Great Bond film. Expected.
Daniel, you finally saw the trailer.
I saw it, and I remember, Spectre said something about, like, it's good to see you again, Bond. I'm thinking, oh my god, that was awesome. Like, I'm thinking, like, could this be, like, a continuation? Like, last time Bond saw Spectre was, like, at the beginning of, For Your Eyes Only. Could he be talking about that? That kind of got me excited. I'm thinking, oh, so they are following continuity, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, this is going to be different, right, Mike D, from what originally was.
I'm kind of like trying to stay away from going into a lot of detail. I can answer Daniel's question, but it may be more appropriate for like a Bond cast.
Right. Okay. We'll get off topic of James Bond. Okay. We're going to go on to the. There's a story about Hugh Jackman. He has released a picture on Instagram that's basically showing the three claws. And he says one last time.
Yeah.
Which means that it may be possible that Wolverine 3 is his last appearance. He's going to appear in X-Men Apocalypse. He's going to appear in, I believe, cameos in Deadpool and Gambit, and also Wolverine 3. But this may be it, actually. So, again, nothing is confirmed. I don't know if that's the final Wolverine. What do you guys think? I mean, you think that, like, is he going to give up again being Wolverine, or is this just like a stupid news that doesn't exist? I mean, how old is he going to be, really? How long could he do this as Wolverine?
Well, come on, the comic books even had Old Man Logan, where it got to the point that the Hulk actually ate him, and he killed the Hulk by clawing his way out. And at that point, I mean, when they called it Old Man Logan, they called it Old Man Logan for a reason. He was, like, pretty withered looking. He was still a badass, but he was pretty withered, so they could go a long way with Hugh Jackman in this role if he wanted to do it. They could get decades out of him.
Right. What do you think, Mike D? I mean, think Wolverine, 3 more appearances and that's it?
Who knows? I mean, they could recast that role as somebody else, much akin to like Bond role, and just keep transferring the roles on down. The thing with me, being a longtime X-Men fan, the character Wolverine is supposed to be like a really, really short fellow. He's supposed to be like 5'3" or 5'4", and Hugh Jackman's at least 6 feet tall. So they're not really casting true to character. So I mean, I don't know if they might get like somebody that's at least a little bit more centric to what that character was actually based on.
Maybe they'll get Glenn Danzig.
Right. I mean, Corey, what do you think about Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
Overall,
Awesome. He is Wolverine to me.
Right.
So I don't want him to leave. I don't want him to ever leave.
I know. I don't think he's leaving. I think that's just baloney. What do you think, Daniel?
I don't want him to go either. I hope he stays. I heard I just hope he stays. I mean, we need him to do the possible Avengers versus X-Men. You said that would be his last movie, right?
I would think that would be his last movie if they can get that deal going. Yeah. All right. Our next article is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel is going to be subtitled Half Shell, which is like stupid. And they're going to be released June 3rd, 2016, which means that in a week or two they're going to be filming in New York City. Rumored to be Rocksteady, Bebop, and Krang in the movie. What do you guys think of Turtles? Are you guys big Turtle fans or no? Gloria, I'm going to go with you first.
That's a funny name.
Yeah, I know.
It's really weird, but I'll watch it.
Right.
But I mean, I grew up on the cartoon. So.
Right. Right. What do you think, Daniel? Are you excited about that or not really?
Not really. When I was a kid, I used to go in school, and everybody was like big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans, always talking about Ninja Turtles. I never really got into it. I watched the cartoons now and then, but no, I didn't watch the movie.
Mike D?
Well, I believe I kind of missed that whole thing at that particular age. I mean, the Turtles came out around. I want to say I was there for the comic books when they first came out, but they were like a darker sort of feel to the comics. Right. They had kind of a film noirish sort of feel. So as far as the cartoons and all that stuff, I'm not very nostalgic for that. So I never really got into all the Turtle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're going to do the Turtles, it needs to be done according to the proper Laird and Eastman's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which wasn't this campy crap that they put out in the cartoon. And these movies, I'm sorry, I just felt like it was more like Turtle Heads than Turtles. Make sure to flush afterward, and let's not have it bob up for a sequel.
Right. All right. We have other news from Stephen Moffat about Sherlock. As we know, the Christmas special that's been, I believe, finished filming is going to take place in the Victorian era, and it's not going to be connected with the Sherlock series, but sort of like a one-off type of tale. Probably not real. Probably like a dream or something, where they're in the actual time of Sherlock Holmes, I guess, time period. So
I got a question about that. In all seriousness, if they're going to do like a dream or something like that,
right?
The character of Sherlock Holmes was actually a drug addict. Now, I haven't seen Sherlock, the new series that Moffat does with Cumberbatch. Is he drug dependent? The character?
I believe that we've seen that. I think he is, yeah.
So it could even be like a drug-induced sort of vision or hallucination he has.
I don't know how that's going to be, if it's actually going to be events that take place in the present, but maybe he just sees it as the past.
Okay.
So it really happens, but only in our time period.
So he's going to be kind of like...
I don't know what he's
going to be. Solve the case, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Sherlock's going to run into Cheech and Chong's, what you're saying, in this Christmas special.
I don't know, actually. Let me just read what Stephen Moffat said.
It sounds like he's going
Well, he says that.
I could already hear Cheech going, "Hey, Holmes," and he's being literal. It's Holmes, Sherlock Holmes.
He doesn't really, in this article, he doesn't talk about the Christmas special, but he says that season 4 will be 3 standalone 90-minute telemovies with an ongoing storyline thread throughout all 3. Moffat says the new season will be darker and it'll deal quite a bit with consequences. He says that the first series was about the beginning of their friendship, and the second about the formative stages, the love and fear and loss and all that. The third was the good days, me and my pal's wife. These are the golden days. The missing element in a lot of the Sherlock Holmes adaptations is allowing it to be funny. There's a lot of humor in Sherlock Holmes, but it is ignored in a lot of the adaptations. Season 4 is going to be, I suppose you'd say, consequences. It's consequences. Chickens come to roost. It's dark in some ways. Obviously, it's great fun and the Sherlock Holmes romp and all that, but there's a sense of things coming back to bite you. It's not a safe, sensible way to live. It's hilarious and exhilarating some days, but in some days it's going to be bloody frightening. Moffat adds, answers come to questions which nobody has asked, including one thing that nobody has really brought up. He does suggest Moriarty won't be back, but does say the actor has been asking about potentially returning. He even has some great commentary about not just fan fiction, but slash fiction in regards to this franchise. See, there's some eye-watering stuff. Benedict and Martin together, a load of it has been superb. There's a tendency to just page it. I don't agree. Even the slash fiction, that's a great way to learn to work. No one really does a 3-act structure, but just trying to put the words to make somebody else turned on, that's going to teach you more about writing than any college course can teach you. So he's basically just saying that I guess Moriarty's not coming back, but they're going to probably tease about it. And the Christmas special is just going to be separate. But they have long-term plans for Sherlock to go beyond four seasons. And that's, I guess, his main thing. Anything on Sherlock, guys?
Crazy.
I guess I'm going to start watching it.
Yeah.
Is it like series 1? Is it episodic or is it like a movie that's like 2 hours?
It's basically 90 minutes each. So you have to actually check it out one day, Mikey, if you can.
Well, it's on Netflix, and I was just about to start watching it. Actually,
I would.
Are they like 3 episodes that are 90 minutes long? Is that
90 minutes each?
Yeah, but I'm saying like each series. Are they a film or is it a season?
No, it's a season of 3 episodes.
And each episode is 90 minutes each.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha now. Yes. Okay.
You like it, Corey?
Yeah, I haven't watched all of them up to date yet, but yeah.
Anyway, what, Phil?
Do you know what we would call all 3 seasons together if this was a show in the 1980s?
What?
Half of a series.
Yeah, I mean, 3 episodes isn't a lot, but I guess it would be considered a mini-series or something, right? Like a little mini. So, Daniel, you watch Sherlock or no?
Nope.
No.
I like the Robert Downey Jr. movies best.
Now, Daniel, do you want to talk about Star Trek? Because I know you've been trying to talk about the fake article that...
I know. I was
Wait, hold on. You called me out, didn't you? You kind of said some nasty things about me on the Google chat.
I know.
You did.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, boys, don't leave mushroom-shaped bruises.
And I don't know.
You were yelling at me, huh?
I'm sorry, man. I know I shouldn't have done that, but
I like your apology. It's very nice.
it was. Ugh. Poor
So
choice.
why don't you tell me the error of your ways? What happened? You believed what to be true?
All right. Again, they said it was coming back. Star Trek was coming back, but the way I understand
Coming back where? The TV?
TV.
Okay.
But
What did
I
you
know.
believe?
Okay, they were talking about a few things. They were talking about a few pitches they've done before, and then they said CBS was talking to Bryan Singer, and Ralph McQuarrie, and Robert Myers Burnett about their Star Trek Federation pitch. Now I would know that this was fake, but it was the way they worded it that made it sound kind of interesting. You know, they worded it differently, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I believe this. I really do. And you know, then the next day I heard it was a bunch of phooey.
Well,
And
the
I'm
funny
like,
thing is, I didn't even know you talking about me to this whole group, and you're like ripping me apart, and I'm like laughing. I'm laughing when I see this. I'm like, oh, your face, Matrix, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I would want to see Star Trek back on TV.
I was playing.
I would love to see Star Trek back on TV, but
I know. I really did. I really would, but oh my God, I guess we're gonna have to wait until 2018, I suppose.
Well, we'll see how the new Star Trek movie does. Because if it does phenomenal, they'll
No,
be
if it does bad, it's not coming back. If it does good, it's not coming back. I don't get it.
Okay, the last two receiving piles of crap, with the last one being the absolute worst. There was no point in this whole other timeline for them to just go ahead and do a re-scraped version of 2 with elements of 3. I could have crapped onto a plate and it at least would have been modern art. This is so terrible that none of the art houses would dare to show it because it would ruin the reputation.
All right, look, I understand where the second movie did wrong. Okay, first, as you said, Joe, J.J. Abrams lied to his audience. He told everybody it was not Khan when it was.
Jar Jar Abrams.
When he lied, sorry, Bill, but when he lied, people didn't like that. You don't lie to your audience, okay?
Oh, didn't I say that? How many times did I say that?
A lot of times, but it takes time for some things. It takes time for things to sink in for me. But you know what?
What also didn't help the situation? How about Orson told Star Trek fans to go F themselves?
Okay, you know what? I don't blame him for saying that. I'm sorry.
And Simon Pegg told Star Trek fans to go F themselves.
Okay.
And what happened? For the first time ever, Simon Pegg's movie started failing. As well as Orchie started getting fired from just about everything. So guess what? Karma really sucks sometimes. And they got theirs.
That was, okay, well, karma doesn't really exist. That was just capitalism in action.
Well.
Agreed.
All right. So.
Yeah, and I have to give a special fuck you to Simon Pegg, by the way, because if you grew up being a professed fan of Star Trek, and you basically tell the fans to fuck off, you're telling yourself to fuck off. So unless you're making a cheeky sort of joke, it's kind of like that. That's real douchey because, I understand that your masters are cutting you a check to being a complete piece of shit called the J.J. Abrams Star Trek project, but come on.
Well, here's the ultimate kicker. Now Simon Pegg is writing Star Trek 3. Yeah. So will that come back to haunt him?
Is this one going to be called The Search for a Plot?
Well, it's actually, here's the funny thing. Star Trek 3 was The Search for Spock, and it had the Klingon battle. It turns out that there's no reason to search for Spock because he didn't croak in this reality, but they're still going to do the Klingon battle. So why don't you just do something original? Is it going to be writing off of the original timeline? Why can't you do a mirror movie or something? Like, why do you have to steal from the movies?
I know they brought Abrams back to like reinvigorate the Star Trek franchise, but enough's enough already. Get Trek back on TV where it belongs, not this Abrams shit.
Yeah, just put it back to right after Voyager, and we're good. As far as I'm concerned. And that's it. I don't care what you do. You could do a Worf thing. Who cares? Let's go.
Yeah.
Enterprise was better than these Abrams films.
No.
I like Enterprise.
You know what ruined Enterprise for me? The Saint Elsewhere style ending.
Yeah, I don't like that either. That basically said that the whole entire thing could be fake and just a holodeck movie.
Well, I never really considered it as fake. They were just watching something that happened in the past.
Well,
But then
they were watching what they believed to be.
But you know what? Like the whole Enterprise thing was an alternate timeline created from the events of First Contact, anyways. So it's not, like you said, it's not connected to canonical.
Possible. All right. On that note, box office numbers wise, is anybody interested in Divergent or Insurgent or any of those movies?
No.
No. Well,
I am.
okay. Insurgent has made 118 million already. Still going strong. And of course, they are filming, I believe, we're going to film 2 more. So I'm probably going to see that tomorrow just to see, because I saw the first one, I really liked it. So we'll see what happens with that. Box office wise, what else happened here? I just want to see. Well, pretty much Home did 56 million, Get Hard did 36 million, Insurgent took in 21.5 million, Cinderella did 18 million this week, and It Follows, which is a horror movie, did 4.2 million. Now Cinderella, I just want to see what Cinderella.
By the way, It Follows, if anyone has read the Dresden Files, Scream's ripoff. Somebody liked the concept of The Outsiders and made a horror movie based on He Who Walks Behind.
Okay.
John saw It Follows actually 2 days ago and was telling me about it.
Is it good?
He said it's basically kind of like a hipster version of like a Nightmare on Elm Street. He said that there's some things in it that are like okay, but overall it's just kind of like a big piece of shit.
Right. Just to close with the box office numbers, Cinderella is a success. It made 268 million. The budget was 95 million. And we're going to close out with the final article of the night, and that's going to be a horror news. It turns out that MTV, with the Scream TV series, not only did they change the mask, but they're not going to call it Scream. They're going to call it Hush. And this is just going to be one big cluster crap of a thing. It's going to just get canceled. You don't have the original mask. You don't have it tied to the movies. You can't even call it Scream. So what the hell is it then, basically? Right? How about not watch it at all, basically? Because if I'm going to pay to do a Scream, if I'm going to pay to get the rights to Scream TV series, I'm going to have the damn original mask. I'm going to have Ghostface, whatever, connected with the movies. Stop it already. What did you pay for?
Joe, this is why you don't get to write TV, because you make sense.
Exactly. Why pay? How much money did they pay for? These idiots.
Yeah. We're going to do Friday the 13th, but it's not going to be Crystal Lake, and there's not going to be a Jason.
Right. Yeah, wait till Friday the 13th with the Antiques, the TV series.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Okay. Well,
yeah,
there you
go. There you
go.
Antiques Roadshow, and it was still cool.
They probably gave him the idea for Antiques Roadshow.
Oh, shit.
I love Antique Roadshow.
I know, that's cool, but still.
We're going to do a TV remake.
Funny, and you know it.
They're not going to be doing any missions, and they're not going to be impossible missions.
It's like Freddy's Nightmares, when you're looking for Freddy to appear, and he only appeared like what? Like twice or 3 times?
They're just going to be selling ice cream to kids.
Well, how about the Hellraiser movies, where Pinhead doesn't appear for till like the last 2 minutes of it, like those direct-to-DVD ones, where he's like, "Oh, this is a Hellraiser movie." It's like,
I want to see Freddy vs. Jason 2.
As you see, this is not just pointless S&M. We will show you more levels of pain. Okay, now it's an official Hellraiser movie.
All right, so Scream. Besides, Scream TV series being a disaster, they're going to turn Texas Chainsaw Massacre into Twilight, where Leatherface is going to be a supermodel, popular kid girlfriend and just.
He's gonna be like an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
Okay, just tell me that you just had a mushroom pizza and it's kicking in.
No, actually, that's actually what's happening, Bill. We did a horrorcast on that, and they're actually doing that.
Okay,
Blow the face.
who do I need to choke out?
Well, we'll talk about it off air, but yeah, actually, it was the funniest. It
We're
was
going
probably one of the best horrorcast episodes we ever did. When I revealed it to Mike D and Connor, they almost flipped out, right, Mike D?
I remember that.
I don't even want to talk about
Okay,
it.
you know what? I've got some shoe boxes. I've got some cement. We definitely need to talk.
I think Mike D and them and Connor thought he was joking too at first.
I wasn't joking. You can't make that shit up, but basically. Yeah, the Texas Chainsaw 90210, basically, or whatever it's gonna be.
No, it's Chainsaw 90210.
Yeah, Chainsaw 90210. Yeah, basically. All right. Yeah, not happy with that. All right. Other than that, this has been 300 amazing episodes of the Everything Show. You know,
and we did not once talk about professors.
Okay. 300 episodes. I'm very proud of this show, and it's going to continue for many, many episodes to come. So thank you for this wonderful journey with making this little milestone here.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
Yes, and on that note, take care. Bye for now.